Okay,
Yeah.
anyways, we're gonna go into
Anyway.
our chamber of secrets.
Yes.
Chamber of lies. That's what we're gonna
Oh
call
no.
it instead. Oh god. Okay. Um so Colette is kind of like excited and she's walking down the stairs and looking all around. You guys, it takes a while to get down. You're like walking down like these stone stairs. You're like completely underground. And it opens up into a common area that's similar to Colette's, but it doesn't have a TV or anything like that. It actually has a really big, nice, what are they called? Grand piano? Is that what they're called? Big, fancy, old looking one. It's got one of those in the living room. The vibe in here is a lot different. It's very nice, but it reminds you of like old times. uh,
Yes.
Not necessarily Victorian, but like just older. It's not modern in any way. Whereas like Colette's house is more of a modern vibe. Um, uh, so maybe Lindsay is a musician. We don't know. And it opens up into like a big common room, and it's got various decorations around, things like that. And then there's only one hallway that leads off to the right, and that's it. That's sort of all that seems to be down here. Is this big kind of spacious room with big couches and
Mm.
chairs
Um,
and maybe a bedroom.
Sparta's
um,
gonna immediately try to like catch any type of sense.
You don't
I'm
pick up
gonna
on anything.
roll in just to see like if I get obsessed with the piano or no.
Go for Oh,
Even yes, odds no. 8. Okay. I am obsessed with the piano. I will sit on the
Nyx
piano
just
and
goes
I
beeline for the piano.
literally like beeline to the piano
Mm.
and I will start playing the said piano.
Piano. I like how you say piano. You say it like very aggressively.
Piano.
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 I'm I'm done, you guys. My brain is done. I'm sorry for the last 2 hours of this. I feel very silly right now. Okay. Colette's all over the fucking place. Listen, this is grief, you guys.
Grief
Okay.
denial. Denial
Blame
stage.
it on grief. Um so Sparta, you don't pick up on any sense. Um
He's listening to the music, but he's definitely gonna be investigating around.
Colette's gonna, excuse me, walk back to what you guys thought was the bedroom and open the door, and you realize that it's not a bedroom at all. It's a weaponry room. Wep,
Weaponry.
I can't say that word very well.
An armory.
Armory. That's the one I wanted to say, not weaponry. Whatever the fuck that is. I was putting weapon and armory together. It's an armory. There's a bunch of weapons in here. There's all sorts of shit in this room. All sorts of supplies and goodies. It's like it's like her own version of Genevieve's shop. Much smaller and confined to one room. So Colette kind of walks in and is like, "Oh, okay." She's sort of looking around at all of the goodies in there. There's all sorts of guns and knives and things. Alejandra, do you follow Colette to that room? Or are you still in the
Yeah.
common room? Okay. She's gonna pick something up and toss it over to you and say, "Here you go." And it's a silencer. Ask and you shall receive.
If Sparta makes his way into that room, he's going to look for tracer rounds.
I have no idea what that is.
Basically, fire bullets.
What?
They're Basically, like they ignite when you shoot them, but they're just regular bullets.
Those don't exist because fire is scary. Lindsay, I don't think Lindsay would have those. I feel like a vampire would have a hard time shooting fire bullets that exploded into fire because they'd be like, ah! Wouldn't shoot their enemy and then they'd get scared and run away. Seems a little counterintuitive.
Then he'll just grab a silencer.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's no fire bullets, sadly. As you guys are going around though, you do find something interesting. You see what looks to be a crossbow hanging in one of the places where there's weapons. And below it, there is a case. And there's like a clear case that has arrows in it. And getting closer, Colette's sort of like getting closer. And she's like, guys, come look at this. You can see that the arrowhead is glowing. Very similar to bullets that you guys have seen before.
Well, this looks familiar.
Colette is gonna kind of push the little button and the case pops open. She's gonna pick it up and she's kind of like looking at it and twisting it around. It's got a steel this part of the arrow. And yeah, arrow, and the arrowhead is that same weird, strange, familiar I don't know, substance, material that the fire bullets that you guys have seen before.
Sparta touches the arrowhead to see if it's hot.
It's not, surprisingly.
It's not?
Much to your surprise.
Well, it's not hot.
You had to touch it, didn't you?
I mean, how else would we know?
I'm curious about something. Colette's gonna pick up the crossbow, load the arrow into it, and turn it and shoot it at the wall. And then she's gonna walk over and pull it out and say, touch it again.
Sparta touches it again.
Sizzling hot.
God damn it, that's hot.
You deserve that.
I don't understand the science behind these things.
But it's the same mechanism. You said, Spar just said that was not hot until you shot it.
And she's going to pick up another one of the arrows and kind of hold them side by side. And the one that she shot is glowing like a deeper, that weird orangish, reddish color that they are.
Why does Lindsay have these? I mean, these are the same things that the cultists had. And where did she get them?
I don't fucking know. How hot was it?
It was pretty fucking hot. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't recommend it.
Colette kind of wants to touch it. Just kind of like staring at it like him.
She's to press the button.
She's gonna put the crossbow back on the wall and put both of them, even the one that she shot, kind of close it and be like, I don't understand. And you do notice it with the crossbow. It's that very same design. It's white and gold. It's super intricate, really beautiful design all on the crossbow. It's really pretty. Same as that same design that was on the guns, and then on the base, sort of where the trigger is, where you hold it, there's the circle with the 3 crosses.
Guys, guys, this is the same symbol.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe she collected it. I mean, we don't know what Lindsay does with her life. Let's be real. Maybe she fought some of these people and collected it or something. I mean, they don't seem to have come back to town since like weeks, right? Like the last time we saw those people were when they attacked us at Ashley's, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was also the
That
time
was a
in the
long time
forest,
ago. It was the
but
time
there
in
was
the
also
what?
in the forest when you got shot by the same type of
That
bullets.
was when we were talking
Yeah,
about
but no, that's not what I was talking about. When we were attacked at Ashley's house. But we don't know if that was them. We just assumed it was them. What if other people have these weapons because they've fought them and they've taken them? Like Lindsay.
True.
Just because we got shot with that weapon doesn't necessarily mean we got, because those people are human. They wouldn't have been able to see in the dark.
True. So, I don't know. All of this is just so weird. Like, I don't understand why she has. Yes, she may have taken these weapons from them, but I don't know. All of this is just weird.
I don't know, maybe she just liked this one in particular and decided to keep it. I don't know.
It's definitely not like the others. Clearly, it's older.
What makes you say that?
I mean, it's a crossbow, not a gun.
Well, there's
People who use crossbows nowadays. I mean, you're a hunter. You never used a crossbow?
I mean, I've used a bow,
I mean, a
but
crossbow is
not
like
with,
a more
not with
modern
fire,
version of a bow.
but not with fire arrows.
I would go to say that this is probably not that old. I think it's the same technology that these people are using for the gun. I think it's just a different model. Kind of like Alejandro was saying, like these people could have sniper rifles. I mean, they had weird grenades, like what's stopping them from making every type of weapon depending on what you needed it for. A crossbow, in my opinion, is a better thing to use in an attack because it's quiet. You sneak up on people. Guns are loud. It alerts everybody. You start shooting people with bows, then it's going to be a lot harder to figure out where the threat is. Can't follow the sound of a bow.
True.
So maybe it's just another version of what they do. I don't know.
Should we check the bullets caches?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, Alejandro's gonna start opening pretty much ammo cases
Okay.
to see if we can find something more.
All of the ammo are in here appears to be just regular ammo. You don't see any cases that resemble the case for the fire bullets. You don't see anything like that. You also don't see any guns, like fire bullet guns. You just see that one crossbow and on the table, sort of. There's like, the way this room is it's sort of all the way around on the walls. There are like shelves with stuff, and then all the way around there's like kind of a table built in with drawers and things. And on top of the table, underneath where the crossbow is hanging, is like that case of arrows. But everything else just appears to be regular ammo, regular weapons.
Sparta will look at Colette and Alejandro and say, I feel like we're getting sidetracked. We came here for a reason. Should we check the rest of the place? And by the way, where's Nyx?
I'm pretty sure she's out there playing that piano. Are you deaf?
You can hear it.
You
Like,
definitely
she's
can hear it.
in it. I did 5 successes, bitch. She's laying that grand piano over there.
She's having a grand old time.
Giggity.
See what I did there?
So Sparta will look at them and say, let's grab Nyx. Let's finish searching this place. See what we can find. And he'll walk out towards the main common room.
Yeah, she'll follow you and be like, I think this is it. Unless there's like secret doors around here. She's gonna be like, Lev.
Sparta will walk up to Nick and be like, hey, can you use like that weird vision thing that you do to see if there's more that's hidden?
It would have already been activated. So I was just saying, out of character.
What?
Like, can you look around to see if there's like a secret entrance or something that we're missing? Because, like, we're not finding anything.
Do I need to get up?
Sparta face palms. He's like, look, you're playing beautifully, but we do have a job to do. I love this song, by the way.
He finishes up a few chords and she's like, okay, fine. Closes the grand piano, gets up, goes around. Do I see anything?
Nope. There's nothing magical
Goes
down
back.
here. Nothing hidden.
To the big room, and it's like, no, I don't see anything glowing down here. Aside from that grand piano.
Well, aside from the great song, I feel like this place is a bust.
Yeah, I haven't played one of these in like years. Beautiful instrument. Oh my god. This is like this is one of a kind. This piano is not, this was made for this place or for Lindsay or whomever like asked for it. This is gorgeous. You guys don't even understand.
No, I don't think we do. Colette says, and Colette's sort of looking around. There's a bookcase, and she's sort of there's like this section of the wall that looks odd. So she's sort of like fiddling around with the bookcase to see if like the bookcase is a special door.
Sparta will look at Colette, say, what, you think you found something?
I don't know. I just think that this wall here looks odd.
Look at the wall. There is nothing there, right? That I see personally.
But it looks like worn. Like everything else in the house looks like really nice and fresh, but this like particular section of the wall looks like it's worn down for some reason. And Colette's thinking that maybe this bookshelf moves and it's like been rubbing and there's like a discoloration.
Sparta will go up to the bookcase and kind of grab onto the bookcase and try to move it. He's not going to try to smash it, but he is going to try to move it.
It doesn't move.
That's odd.
You actually
Fucking
found
love
an
Nick.
immovable object.
That's odd. Sorry.
Well, I mean, what the fuck? It's a bookshelf. It should move. Unless it's like a bookshelf built inside the wall.
That's odd.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of this patient shit. Can I please just smash this bookcase?
Sparta!
Hold on just a
No!
minute. Stop trying to break things in Lindsay's house, man. Oh, start touching the books and stuff. If this is like some door, then there's a key somewhere.
Fine. Sparta,
Start.
exasperated, start to fuck with all the books.
Okay,
Lots of
them
you know,
fly off of the thing as you're being super rough and like fly to the ground.
The thing is, would you like if somebody came to your house and was looking for something and just smashed your entire house?
I mean, I do that already. So
Remind me not to invite you to my house again. And as Colette says that, clink, she goes to pull out one of the books, and lo and behold, there is a mess on the floor from Sparta, and the door starts to clink, 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 clink.
Oh my god, this
Slide
place.
Sparta, you're cleaning up the books. I'm telling you right now, I am not going to clean up after your fucking mess.
look, damn the books. We just got another freaking secret dungeon.
So it
There's
opens
gotta
up
be a path.
into a room that looks more like a living quarters, like a bedroom.
Sparta will immediately walk in. He wants to smash something and has been told no too many times, so he's just walking right in.
Oh, Sparta. I guess Nyx is just gonna go inside because she's curious, not because she can investigate or anything. I'm just pointing it out there, like, whomever has investigation, fucking do it!
Right?
What are you investigating for? It's just a bedroom.
I
What
don't
is there
know.
to investigate? Why are we getting
Maybe
yelled
there's
at?
like another secret door!
Yeah, Colette was the one using her investigative skills while you dicked around on the piano.
I don't have investigation, I'm completely useless.
She's doing
And I'm
exactly
trying-
what
I'm-
you're saying.
I'm playing with my own bane, guys. I'm sorry. Like, hello. I rolled. It was fair and square.
Sparta had walked into the room. Does he notice any? Like, he's paying attention.
No, it's just a bedroom. There's nothing special in here. Literally, it's just a bedroom. Just like the rest of the house. Everything looks normal.
Well, I mean, still a bust. We found another secret room, but nobody's here, so
We came here to find Lev, guys, not to find secrets. I don't know what you were expecting to find down here. Jesus Christ. Last I checked, Lev is fucking huge, so I think we would have found him by now. He's not hiding in some hole. I think he's just not here. He's just not at this place. That's okay. We don't need
have
to
another
bust
address.
down any walls, okay, Sparta? Chill. You don't need to go destroying the place. Lev's not here. Maybe
Look.
he's somewhere else. We don't need to destroy the place to see if maybe he is hiding in some crevice. I don't think he can hide in crevices. He's too big.
fine. Well, we have another address. Clearly, he's not here, so why don't we go to the next one?
Okay. You should clean up those books,
How
by
do
the way.
we?
Get out?
Mm-hmm.
Good question. The thing disappeared. Um,
Sparta, hearing Colette say that, Sparta will go pick up some of the books. Like, they're backwards. He'll put them in wrong. He's like, fine.
It's a mess.
He just
He
I am
stacks
not
them this
taking
way
that.
instead of this way. He stacks them this way.
exactly.
No,
Ugh.
Nyx is gonna be there
I
and
hate
she's
that.
gonna like be looking at him, and literally, if he's not getting the point, she will brusquely like shove him out of the way and like literally while looking at him flipping the books over and putting them in the rightful way, and then helping him out because if not, like, we're not gonna get the fuck out of here.
Sparta just shrugs. He's like, "What? I mean, the books are on the bookshelf."
You don't have a house, do you?
He's been sleeping on the couch at the safe house.
I mean, he has to
Or
have a house
everywhere
somewhere,
you go.
right? You have a house somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't have books.
I'm just curious to see what your house looks like. So I'm just like envisioning like broken furniture and just
Alright.
like
I have a couch and a TV. That's about it.
wow, that sounds like depression. Colette's gonna start walking back up the stone stairs to see how the hell you guys are supposed to get out of here.
We'll follow confused. He's like, "Get it."
What's the problem?
Nyx is shocked. She is also very sad because she needs to leave that grand piano behind. She will be thinking about the grand piano for a second.
So you guys get back upstairs to the hotel room, and Lindsay didn't write any instructions on how to get out. So the sink that Colette touched all the little knobbies to get in has gone underground. So Colette's a little confused and just sort of like looking around at everything in the bathroom. Like, why didn't Lindsay add this important note? Like, we're just stuck here forever. And then she's gonna just start like fiddling around with things in the bathroom.
I'm gonna help her.
Okay.
Because Nyx is not liking being trapped inside a metal box.
And
She'll move the other shit around or touch the walls or like around where the mirror was or whatever, because I imagine like a portion of the wall went down, not all of it, right?
just like kind of like a door,
Yeah.
kind of like made like a doorway kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to find something around the outlines or whatever.
So as you're doing that, she's gonna like walk over to the tub in the shower section, and she's like, "Okay, I have an idea." And she's gonna tap the soap 3 times. She's gonna turn the faucet on and off, and clink, 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 just like before. It starts, you hear the wheels, and it starts to rise up out of the ground and locks back into place. And those weird metal sheet things go up. And it now looks like a normal bathroom and hotel room again.
I definitely have to get me one of these.
This is like much more high tech than my stuff. I wonder if this is real
it doesn't need
soap.
to be a chamber of secrets, but you know.
But who doesn't want to have a lair?
Oh yeah, no, I already thought, Colette, your setup is fucking dope as fuck. So you know, sheesh.
Well, anyway, shall we go to the second address before Sparta completely destroys this place?
Yeah.
I promise Liv isn't hiding in the drawers, Sparta. Let's go.
Sparta just shakes his head and follows her out.
Nyx is gonna go and like give him a pet on his shoulder and be like, "We'll find him. I know that you're worried."
Thank you.
Colette's like, I don't care, bro.
You know.
Colette is in denial. Colette like is just
Colette's
doing
in
her
a
own
different
thing
world. She's just like, whatever. Okay. So you guys are gonna hop into your cars again and start heading to the second address, which is Lindsay's residence. And this one's a little bit farther away, but it still obviously is in the kind of Ventru area. So it's similar areas to where you guys are now. Whoa. I need to look at something really quick. Okay. So you guys drive for about maybe 10 minutes or so. And the area that you guys are in is a lot different than like most of the areas in the French Quarter that you guys have been. You kind of drive through the French Quarter. That's really all of the like Ventru area that you guys have actually kind of explored has been like the French Quarter. But this seems to be kind of like on the outskirts. And there is a lake. You go up to a lake house that is not as beautiful as what's her face's Colette's. But similar type style to the vibe that Colette's house had. And it's just this massive lake. So it looks a lot like Colette's house. And Colette is kind of like, while she's in the car with Alejandro. Because it is the same lake that her house is on. It's just her house is like over there. Not where they are right now. So you guys pull up. This house, instead of being like an old, beautiful, like Victorian style house, it's like much more modern. Like one thing you've noticed is in the Ventru area, a lot of the houses have been more of like a modern style than like than the Toreador, where they're like the Victorian style. So this one's like a big modern type house. Kind of reminds you similar style of like the safe house. But surprisingly, it doesn't have any sort of barrier or like fence or anything. Like it's just the house on the lake and the driveway that goes up to it. So it's like incredibly exposed. Colette kind of pulls up, she kills the lights as she's like creeping up the driveway and kind of looking at the house. Not really sure like what's gonna be here waiting for you guys if Lev is here.
Nope.
So she's gonna hop out of the car and she'll start walking toward the house.
Sparta does the same, and he's gonna do the same thing that he's done at all the other places. He's gonna try to smell to see if he catches any scents.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, for the sake of argument, you might have a better sense of smell. Well, you're smelling for his scent, right? You do smell like Lev's scent in the air.
Or like a recent scent.
Yeah. You do.
I'll look at everybody and I say, Lev's been here recently.
Okay.
That's a start.
Let's hope he's here.
Colette is gonna start kind of looking around the house. Like there's big windows and things. The house looks dark. It doesn't look like there is anyone inside the house. There's like a key code, an electric key code. And she like enters in the code and goes inside the house.
Sparta
Do I
will
see anything weird?
No.
No.
No, not at this particular moment. You don't There's nothing around. There's nothing hiding, nothing magical.
Okay. I will cautiously walk in with my blades out.
And I do actually want to activate everything
Okay.
just to be safe. So I'll have to do 3 rouse checks. Two successes, so I'm hungry.
2 hunger.
And I'm putting 2 into strength.
Okay.
And resilience and toughness are activated.
Okay. You guys kind of start walking in. Colette has taken out her gun as well. And there's no lights on. I mean, it's not super dark, like, because there's lots of windows and stuff, so there's like light from like the moon and stuff and light outside coming in, but it is particularly dark in certain areas, obviously, as you can imagine inside of a dark home. And Colette's sort of just gonna start walking. There are stairs, like, this is like a big living room. There's stairs to the right of you, and then there's sort of like a hallway that leads to what looks like maybe a kitchen and some back rooms and things. And Colette's gonna kind of start walking that way toward like the kitchen area. Where's everybody else headed?
I would like to try to track the scent, see if it's coming from if it goes into a particular direction or anything.
Okay. I'll have you do a wits and survival.
Three successes.
3 successes? Okay, 1 second. I need to write something down. Okay. 3 successes. You notice that when you went into the house, you're sort of like in sort of the middle of this common area, that it's getting weaker the further you go into this house. You're sort of losing that scent the further you go into the house.
At that point, he would like backtrack to try to get the scent where it was strongest to do that, even if he has to go outside.
Okay. So if you're gonna follow the scent, it would lead you back outside.
Yeah, he'll go back outside.
Okay. And as you're going outside, as you're following this scent, it seems to be coming from the garage area, which is like a little bit further down the driveway, because you guys didn't go all the way down the driveway. You sort of stopped like at the front of the house, and then went into the house. But there's like, if you continue down the driveway, it's a little bit longer. There's like a sort of a garage and a shed and things like that. It's kind of like it would be like in the backyard, so to speak, or along the side of the house.
Before he starts walking towards that, he'll like call out. Like he hasn't gone too far yet. He'll be like, "The smell's coming from over here, guys." To Nix, Alejandro, and Colette, if she hasn't gone too far into the house.
Colette is gonna continue going out the other end of the house, because she sort of walked through the house and there's a door that leads, like, so she's gonna wrap around. Yeah. So she's just gonna continue, and she'll kind of like call over her shoulder and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out this way and like kind of check this area."
I'll follow you, Sparta. Nix, she's gonna follow Sparta.
Okay. Is Alejandro with them, or Colette?
Colette.
Okay. So Colette opens the door and kind of steps outside, and this garage area is sort of not directly, well, I guess it would be directly next to where this part of the house is, because it is toward the back of the house. And what is your hunger at?
Who?
Alejandro. 1?
I checked the. Yeah, I believe it's a 1.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You and Colette step outside of the house and you immediately smell blood. And I need to roll for her because her hunger is at 4. What is her willpower at? Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, she got 3 successes. She only needed 2. Okay, you do hear a growl happening inside of Colette. She is very hungry, and that instant smell of blood has provoked the beast, but she is able to sort of grit her teeth and control herself, and you can see she's struggling. Her fists are in balls as she's sort of like trying to regain herself and the strength not to go and feed. But you guys are much closer, so you can smell it. You guys, as you walk closer, you would smell it, which neither of you are at 4 hunger, right?
No, we're a hunger too. Both
Yep.
me and
Okay.
Steve.
So you don't need to worry about rolling or anything. But you guys do, as you're walking closer to this garage and shed area, you do catch the scent of blood, both of you.
I immediately look at Sparta and I'm like,
This isn't good. And Sparta's literally gonna like pick up his step and start walking towards the smell.
Colette is sort of like locked in place, and she's like I said, fist kind of balled at her side, and she's like grunting and like trying to just calm herself down. She doesn't it seems like she can't really focus at this particular moment. She's not frenzying, obviously, but it's taking a lot of her focus right now to focus on not frenzying.
mm-hmm.
So she's sort of just kind of standing there.
Alejandro's gonna look over and just say, "I'll take the lead."
Now,
Start walking
we're all at
towards
the garage. Are Colette and Alejandro within sight of us as well?
Yeah, you guys are sort of walking toward, and there's a space in between the house and the garage. There's a little path that leads to the back door, and they've sort of come around the house and are kind of standing right there. So you would be able to like see them in like that space.
I rolled for rouse check to bump up dexterity and strength by 1. I did not fail, so I'm not extra hungry. So I have strength 3 and dexterity 3 in this round.
Okay.
But I am approaching carefully, but that's on. No.
Yeah. So Alejandro, where are you and Colette? You didn't come out of the back of the house. It's sort of the side of the house. You stepped out at the side of the house, and directly in front of you guys is the garage, and the door that, like, just a few paces away is the door that leads into this garage area. And then the shed there's like a little tiny shed that's behind it. From the direction of what you can sense the smell is coming from this garage that's in front of you.
Alright. Alejandro takes out his gun at this point and activates Daunt.
All right, I'll go in first. Cover me. Let's hope it's nothing too bad. And Sparta will slowly, carefully.
Wait. Don't just go in first. Take a step to the side and open the door.
Sparta
Don't
will
go
lift.
in busting in. And...
He'll step to the side and kind of push the door open.
Okay.
Do you see anything? Do you see anything?
Well, I mean, you're standing right in front of the door, so you can now see into the thing, unless you stepped aside. Unless you also stepped
not in
onto
front of
the
the door.
side.
Oh, hell the fuck no.
Now, Alejandro is a little bit to the side just to be able to keep a sudden cover.
I'll activate Eyes of the Beast and slowly kind of like peek in carefully.
Well, the lights in the garage are on. It's not dark in there. And as soon as the door is opened, the scent of blood is overwhelming. It just hits all of you guys. And I'm actually gonna roll again for Colette, I think. No, it's too short of a time. But Colette hasn't moved. She's sort of standing. There's like 2 steps that come out of the house, and she's sort of just standing right there. And she hasn't moved at all. It's like she's using all of her energy to just stay composed at this moment. And especially when the door opens and the scent gets like stronger, you're gonna hear that like deep growl kind of in her chest as she's standing there. And the door swings inward and exposes the thing. And as you sort of peek your head around, and Alejandro, you get a good look, because I feel like you wouldn't have view at this particular moment until you step in. There is blood. From where you're seeing, there is blood everywhere. All over the floor, all over the walls. And you see Lev's body in the middle of the room on the floor. Also covered in blood.
Sparta sees Lev on the ground. He immediately walks right in and goes towards Lev.
Lev appears to be once again incredibly injured.
Oh shit. Sparta's gonna check over his body. Like, he's gonna check him out, like to check his injuries, see how he is, see what might have attacked him. He's not focused on what his surroundings. Like, he's solely focused on Lev.
Okay.
Whenever Sparta goes rushing in, Nyx is kind of on the side, right? There's like the door and then the side, and then she was on the side. She was seeing nothing. She will peek in and take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Am I seeing something
magical? No.
that is hiding?
Nope. There's nothing in there. All you see is blood everywhere. You wouldn't be able to see Lev at this particular moment, because he's sort of kind of huddled over him. Sparta, when you get to Lev's side, you see some sort of contraption around his neck. It's about 2 inches wide, I don't know, thick, like wide and thick, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. And it seems to be locked in place, and you can see where it has pierced into his skin, and there is kind of blood that has oozed out in different spots from this weird contraption. And it very you wouldn't notice that, never mind.
I will immediately call out, guys, help. Lev's hurt.
I'm gonna rush in and like I'm like looking around and looking at Lev and what the fuck?
I don't know what this is. There's something around his neck. What do we
When
do?
when you walk in and look at the thing on his neck, it is very faintly pulsating a yellow color. Foom, foom, foom.
What do you see when you look at the whatever is around his neck?
It's like some kind of collar. It's piercing his neck.
You don't see it glowing.
No, it's not glowing.
It is.
We got to get it off.
Don't touch it. We need to bring this to Ronaldo or Imani or somebody that understands this is glowing at like that weird orangey vibes that was like in the other like ward thing. So that might be something that we are not going to be able to touch unless somebody is knowledgeable about it. How do you destroy this? Do you
I don't know. I don't understand any of this. He's hurt.
I'm gonna look at we're in a like thing. Is there like a
Bolt cutters?
iron cutter? Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably find them. By the way, everyone else that has stepped in and Nyx, because I feel like Sparta's way more concerned on Lev than ever, like surroundings. On the wall, written in blood, it says every debt requires collateral.
Every debt requires collateral.
And as you're searching around in the room in Sparta, you're looking at this thing, you haven't touched it yet. Nyx, when you look back at it, it's glowing faster. Boom, 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 boom.
We need to take it off now. Do I find a clamp or something to like cut it?
Sure.
I'm gonna try to like cut it with the clamp or whatever, with the iron cutter. I don't know how to say it.
Bolt cutters.
Bolt cutters. I'm gonna like try to like
okay.
shove it in and cut it.
Okay. As soon as you make contact with it, you hear this overwhelming, like high-pitched sound, and whatever was piercing into his neck, more of them have come out and go clearly through his neck, and he is decapitated and instantly begins to turn to ash in front of you. And this weird collar thing clanks to the ground.
Sparta will immediately like roar and start crying.
Yeah, no, Nyx is gonna be holding the fucking bolt cutters and like she'll let them go and like probably like yell, like scream.
I feel like Sparta would frenzy at this point.
Yeah, if you wanna, I'll let you decide that.
Yeah, Sparta's
This
gonna
is a
frenzy.
pretty significant moment for him, so you can role play it however you feel necessary.
He immediately bursts into tears of blood, and he just lets out like a wail and goes into a frenzy. Should I roll for a frenzy?
I won't make you roll
No.
for it. Just
You can
let,
decide it. It's your
yeah,
personal thing.
let
And
him do it.
he starts like I start smashing everything in sight.
As soon as Nick sees the out of control situation, she'll literally run outside and be like, Alejandro, move. This is not okay.
What happened?
Yeah, Colette, she was in there. She watched it, and she's sort of like staring at the ground where Lev was, and she's just gonna like back up against the wall and just like press her body up against the wall as like Sparta is just like destroying this everything in this room.
I'm gonna go and just destroy literally the tables, start punching through the wall, even just throwing stuff through the windows.
I don't know if I killed Lev. I might have fucked up. I was just trying to help. I was just trying to cut that thing off of his neck, and then it cuts his head off as soon as it touched it.
It was a scary reason to make sure no one would touch it.
You guys are
Nix is
gonna
like
see.
crying a little bit. She'll go and like sit on the porch, like silently.
Yeah, Colette's sort of just gonna like slide down the wall and like hug her knees and just like put her head down on her knees and be like, I fucking can't with today. And Sparta's still yelling and roaring and destroying everything around her as she sort of just sits there on the ground quietly.
Eventually, his rage does die down, and he'll just go to the ash pile of his cousin and just drop to his knees and just cry.
Alejandro's just trying to look at the text.
Yeah, so again on the wall, it says, every debt requires collateral. While you guys are collecting your thoughts, I lost the dice.
Someone got killed in this. What's their payback?
Um, after Sparta sort of stops going crazy and is just sitting there crying, Colette's gonna get up and walk out of the garage, and instead of going like to the front of the house, she's gonna like kind of walk into the backyard area, if you want to call it that, because this house doesn't have like fence or anything. It's just sort of open, and she's gonna make a phone call.
Whenever Colette gets out and goes back to the inside the house, Nyx is gonna go back and look for Sparta. Where is Sparta?
He's literally kneeling at Lev's ashes.
She's not gonna say anything, but she's gonna come and like give you a big hug and cry with you for a little bit.
And Sparta doesn't say anything.
I'm just gonna go outside and just sit on the grass for a moment.
After a few minutes sort of on the phone out back, you guys can kind of like faintly hear Colette's voice. And as she's talking to someone, you don't necessarily know who she's talking to, but she's just relaying the information of like what they just found and giving whoever she's on the phone with, which you assume is either Ashley or Penelope, instruction to go to the Elysium and call for Lindsay and tell Lindsay, because there's no way of you guys getting a hold of Lindsay. She's going to hang up the phone and walk in where you guys are sitting, and she's just gonna like sit kind of across from you, and she's got big red streaks down her face too as she just sits there and is like kind of overwhelmed with everything that is going on. And she just is gonna relay the message that she has called for Lindsay and we can wait here until she arrives. Colette is going, because his clothes would be there. His clothes didn't disintegrate. So the clothes he was wearing sort of flunked to the ground too. And Colette's gonna reach into his pocket, and she's gonna pull out his locket, and she's gonna hand it to you.
Sparta will take it, and I'll open it and just look at the picture. And he'll just say all he ever wanted was to see his family again. And he'll just like clutch it to his chest, and he'll put it around his neck. And then, still crying, not knowing even what to do, he'll start to fold up Lev's clothes. And then he'll just get up and walk out with the clothes.
probably takes a little while because they would have had to call for Lindsay. Lindsay would have had to come to the Elysium, and then they would have to relay and then come to there. So, say probably about 30 minutes or so, roughly. You see multiple SUVs speeding down the driveway to the house. Colette sort of has come out and sitting in the grass, kind of probably around the area where Alejandro is on the side of the house. As soon as Sparta went out, she didn't want to be in there anymore, especially with all the blood. And she's holding that collar thing in her hand, and she's sort of in between crying and just like looking at it and quiet.
Sparta's on the lake shore. He went down to the lake and is just sitting at the water.
Alondra looks over at that collar. Alondra looks at the collar and looks at Colette and like kind of switching back and forth and like, well, how the fuck did they get to him?
I don't know. Who knows what they buried in his mind? They could have buried in any of our minds. Just feel like we're all taking time bombs.
Oh, looking at the mechanism, that seems like pretty much what we dealt with back in the days.
Yeah, this is some medieval shit right here.
I was trying to find out who actually was responsible for taking Lev last night. Because we're all that we know, that person could have been part of this.
Yeah, I don't know. Problem is, we don't know who's a part of this. We haven't the entire time.
Do you think Penelope might be part of this?
Who?
Penelope?
She sort of like clenches her jaw at like the mention of that idea. She just shakes her head and is like, I don't know. I don't know who's a part of this anymore. I don't know who the threat is anymore. I don't know who to trust. I don't know if all of us have things in our minds that are going to turn us against ourselves and each other. These people seem to be capable of a lot, and I don't know who they're using willingly and who they're using forcefully at this point. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. So difficult at this point, trusting anyone.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, I guess
who's next?
I guess the closest people I can trust right now. That's gonna even be difficult for me to say, because let's be honest, I've been fucking untrustworthy from the very fucking get-go. It's probably the three of you guys.
I mean, we spend majority of our time together. Just makes sense to be able to trust each other. We know where each other goes. We know what each other's doing. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who to trust. I don't know who is involved. I don't want to think about people that I care about being involved in this, but at this point it's like, how do we determine if they're involved by choice? Because clearly these people manipulate everyone, and it's like they win no matter if we help them willingly or not. They're still going to achieve their goal. And that's the part I think that scares me the most.
My question is, who was the collateral for?
That message on there has meaning that I don't understand. And I'm sure they do. And she looks at the cars as like the cars are driving up the driveway as you're having this conversation.
Yeah, they probably do, but chances for us to get that answer,
slim to none.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go and meet them and see what the fuck they have to say. Because if anything, they're gonna have to tell Sparta something. Like, he deserves to know what the fuck happened. Because if Lev was put under protection, how the fuck did they grab him so easily? He should have stayed at the house, not fucking be moved around under protection.
I don't know. All three of the SUVs are gonna drive up the driveway, and people are gonna funnel out of the cars. Imani is there, Catalina is there, Lindsay is there. There's several of like people that look like, you know, people that are usually with Lindsay, guards and whatever you want to call them. And Ashley and Penelope are with them as well. And they all get out of the cars and start making their way toward the garage. Lindsay looks distraught. For those of you who are sitting here, because Sparta, you would be kind of on the other side of the house at the lake. Lindsay looks distraught, even more tired and weak than she looked at the Elysium, if it's possible for vampires to look this way, which I'm assuming if you're hurt. I mean, physically they're hurt. But just the emotion, too, on her face is enough to kind of channel what she's thinking. And she just walks sort of like directly past all of you guys and goes into the garage to see everything that happened in there. Lev's ashes would still be scattered around. Obviously all of the blood and writing and everything would be on there, but all of them go inside of there, except for Ashley. She just comes and sits down next to Colette. And as they're sort of assessing the situation inside there. And about maybe another 5-10 minutes go by, and in the distance from you guys, you hear this loud, deep howl coming from sort of the direction where you guys are sitting, where the house is. The lake is this way. There's sort of a neighborhood off to the left, and off to the right there's kind of a wooded area. And from that wooded area, you hear this deep, like I said, deep, loud howling happening from the woods. And it is getting closer to you.
Would I recognize the howl?
Mm-hmm. You know exactly who it is.
Sparta will also give a howl just in response.
Um, a few minutes later, right after the howl, everyone's kind of sitting by the house. You can see two figures sort of running across the grass on the other side, like coming from that area of where you heard the howling. You can see two figures. You can't. It's dark and you can't see details or anything. And they're kind of rushing closer to you guys. Colette's gonna kind of like perk up and look like, who are these people? Like, are these like bad people? She's watching them kind of intently. And as they get closer, anybody that's watching can make out, anybody that's met them before, will make out the details of Leo and Lizzie.
I met them once.
And hearing their howl, Sparta would make his way back towards where the howl came from.
You would see them, especially at this point. They're sort of out in the open, running across the grass to get to the house. So you would see them running.
I would run towards them, obviously. Are they still in wolf form?
No, they transformed out of it. They're themselves.
I would literally just throw myself at them and hug them, basically.
So you guys would see, like, in the distance, these figures kind of running across the way, and then you'd see I don't know what the fuck I was about to call you. Sparta come from this direction, sort of around the view from the back of the house, and meet up with them as they all sort of kind of collide there and are embracing each other. That has a whole different meaning in this context. You know what I mean. Hugging each other.
Hugging each other.
And Leo isn't crying at this point, but Lizzie is. And Leo like kind of hugs you, and you can see that he's like can't talk because of the emotion. So he's just kind of like looking at you like he wants to communicate, but he can't make words. And he's just gonna kind of like grip your shoulders, and then he's gonna push past you and continue to the garage where everything happened. And he'll sort of rush into the space with everyone. And all of us that are kind of outside of the garage, you can hear like the low murmur of conversation happening inside the garage. And as soon as Leo steps in, everyone like sort of stops talking as he walks into the garage. He is gonna walk in, and obviously he'll see the ashes on the ground, and he just kind of standing there taking in the everything that is around him. It's quite a lot. And then that's when he will start crying, and he sort of just drops to his knees there in the middle of the room where Lev's body was. And Lizzie isn't going to go in the room. She's going to stand outside, like kind of in the threshold of the doorway.
Sparta's standing with her with his arm around her.
Um, Catalina is gonna look up at everyone in the room and say that she needs a minute alone and for everyone to get out, basically. Get the fuck out. And she wants a minute alone with Leo. So everyone's sort of gonna funnel out of the room, and Lindsay will close the door behind her, leaving them in there alone to have a conversation. Penelope is gonna go and join Ashley and Colette, sit with them. Lindsay sort of looks at Lizzie, and they just hug each other. And you can tell that Lindsay has a really strong bond with this entire family. And her and Lizzie sort of just kind of stand there together with you, Sparta. And Lindsay is pretty distraught at this point.
Sparta, I'll definitely put my arm around Lindsay as well, and is like while I'm holding Lizzie as well, so it'd just be like a little group hug thing.
After a couple of minutes, Lizzie's gonna like look at Lindsay and she's like shaking her head. And she's like, "What the hell? What happened?"
I'll answer Lizzie. I'll say, "We got here. We just thought that Lev had just come here for safety, but when we got here, we smelled blood everywhere. And then when we went in the garage, he had this collar on his neck. It had spikes, and apparently it was glowing. We didn't know what to do, so we tried to cut it off, and it just took his head off." And Sparta's literally sobbing while he's telling him this.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing we could do. It happened so fast.
Do we know who did this? Like, you said somebody sent a car for him.
I never should have left him alone last night. We were at Colette's with Penelope and Ashley. He was badly injured. We got him something to eat so that he could heal. He was really messed up. I thought sending him to Leo would be safe, but that's not how it happened. Penelope said she sent the car to take him to Leo, but he never made it.
Whenever you say Penelope, that part, Lizzie is going to immediately push through both of you guys and walk over to Penelope and grab her by the scruff of her shirt and lift her up off of the ground. And she... Sorry, Alejandro's expression made me laugh. She's gonna lift her up and she's holding her. This is how strong Lizzie is. And she's just gonna scream, like nose to nose, like she's holding Penelope in her face. And she's gonna scream at her, "What the hell did you do?" And of course, Ashley and Colette are getting to their feet, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa!" Like Colette is like, Ashley is like, "Oh my god!" Like Sorry, it's so, I hate playing Ashley in these moments because she's so over the top, but she's gonna be like shrieking like, oh my god, and Colette is gonna be like, whoa 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 whoa, like everyone calm down, because Lizzie's pissed, and right now her target of anger is Penelope, who she's holding like a fucking rag doll in her hand. So that's conspiring right now.
Yeah, Nyx was also like around Colette and Penelope and Ashley, so she's like right by Lizzie, and she's like, Lizzie, I don't think it's Penelope. She was in our safe house with us the entire night. It's literally impossible that it was her, but possibly she might know who was supposed to deliver Lev to you. So I know that this is fucked up, and I swear this is, she can barely make any sense right now, but she's like, just put Penelope down and let's just talk. Okay.
All of that did not register at all with Lizzie, and she is growling this deep animal. It sounds a lot like a wolf, of what you would expect, like a wolf that's about to sort of attack their prey, as you're trying to talk her off the edge. And she, like, you can see her left hand, you can see these claws sort of begin to, what's the word, grow, there you go, grow, and she is holding Penelope with one arm and holding her other arm, and she says again, I said, what did you do? And Penelope is just like, dude, I'm not gonna say anything because this bitch is gonna fucking kill me.
Sparta's still with Lindsay with his arm around her, so just watching.
Give me 1 second.
And she's just gonna yell again, and she's gonna sort of shake Penelope. And you get the sense just in how Lizzie is holding her, and like how Penelope moves, that like Lizzie is quite strong. She literally looks like she's holding like a child in her arms right now. She's gonna kind of violently shake her, and she's gonna yell, answer me. And in between all of this, like, growling and all sorts of animal sounds, and then
Okay, I'm gonna, as she's doing that, I'm going to call her.
you're gonna do
like
what?
I want her to like look at me.
She's not
Lizzie.
gonna look at you.
Lizzie.
She is nose to nose with Penelope right now. The only thing in her field of vision is Penelope. She's literally got Penelope like right here in her face, and she's screaming in her face.
I can't do anything. I wanted to activate and transmit, but she needs to look at me.
Yeah.
And even she needs to like look at me.
Seeing Nyx try, Sparta will walk over and just put his hand on Lizzie's shoulder and say, Lizzie, we need answers. But I don't think she was the one. Put her down. She was with us all night.
When you finish the last part, like what you're saying. Instead of setting her down nicely, she's gonna fling her and throw her into the side of the house.
Rip.
Sparta will just pat her on the shoulder. Like, we're going to get answers. We're going to find out who did this, and we're going to make them pay.
Whenever Penelope gets flung over, Nyx is gonna go to Penelope and make sure that she's okay.
Yeah, Ashley would have rushed over it as well. Colette's just kind of like, okay, yikes. And Colette is
throwing people around, so it didn't surprise him.
Yeah. Colette is going to position herself in between Lizzie and Penelope, like kind of slowly with her hands in the air like she did with Vincent. Slowly kind of take a couple side steps and position her body so that she's in between Penelope, Ashley, and Nyx, who are behind her, and Lizzie, who now is sort of in front of her. She's just kind of like, hey, it's fine, Lizzie, chill. We're all friends here. Don't kill us. And after that sort of happened, Lizzie is gonna, you can tell she's not happy to not rip her to shreds, but she's gonna kind of retreat and she's gonna walk back. And as she's walking back, the door kind of opens to the garage and Leo and Catalina come out. Leo is going to, like, Lizzie will walk like towards him and they'll kind of like join each other, and he's gonna like look at you kind of over his shoulder, and they're just gonna start walking the opposite direction the way that they came. They're not going to address anyone else that's there, but they're walking away.
Sparta definitely would have taken a couple of steps towards them, but seeing him look back and then keep going, he'll stop.
After a couple of minutes, you see them sort of pick up pace and start running, and they're running hand in hand back towards like the woods. And you see them disappear into the woods, and a few minutes later you hear more howling that is growing distant as they are running away back in their wolf form. Catalina is gonna look at Lindsay and tell her that she needs to get all of the information. And Catalina is going to, and Imani, I forgot Imani was there. They're gonna get into one of the cars and leave. And Lindsay is gonna kind of like gather herself. She's like, oh, fuck. A lot of emotions happening everywhere. And Colette, now that Lizzie is kind of gone and Penelope is fine, Ashley seems to be more hurt than Penelope. Typical. Ashley is hurt emotionally. I can't believe I had to witness that. I was so scared. Colette is gonna pick up the collar that she kind of like put on the ground when all of this shit was happening with Lizzie. And she's gonna walk over to Lindsay and hand it to her. And she's like, this is the thing that was around his neck. I've never quite seen anything like it but I don't know if it was triggered to go off by something else or if it being touched is what triggered it. I'm not 100% sure. Apparently it was glowing.
Nyx is going to interject there, and she's like, when I got in the room, it was glowing. Like any ward I've seen so far, it seemed like a quote unquote magical type of thing. And as we were in the room and we're trying to figure out how or what it was doing, it started glowing faster and stronger, like a bomb. I grabbed a pair of bolt cutters and the rule was don't touch it if it's glowing. So I thought the bolt cutters would work, but I don't know if that was it or if the timer was out. But what happened is that all those spikes became one big spike and everything was over.
I think that this might be a different type of magic. I don't think this is necessarily a ward. This is some other type of magic used as a trigger to set this off. That's what I'm saying in regards to your comment of not touching wards.
Yeah, no, I don't know anymore. I just know that usually touching something that has been glowing has not been proven very good for us.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll have someone look at this, and I don't know. Maybe we can determine where it came from. I think I have a pretty good idea who's responsible for this at this point, but
hearing that, Sparta will immediately chime in. Tell us who did this. We'll go get them right now.
She's gonna look at you, and she's tired, dude. She's just like, I don't have the energy for this. She's like, it's not quite that simple. I think it's safe to say from the message that was delivered that this is likely tied to Vincent and Violet and old promises. And I don't think anyone anticipated for things to get quite this out of control. And Lev was a needless casualty to prove a point.
And Sparta starts to cry at hearing that. Again. So what are we supposed to do? Just pretend like this didn't happen?
That's not what I'm saying.
Recollect ourselves.
We can't fight a force that we can't catch.
Going in blindly is stupid as well.
Well, there is nowhere to go in. We don't know where these people are. They've already cleaned up all of the spots that we knew about. As soon as they caught wind that we were on to them. So now we do recon. We stay together. Stay safe. Find them or let them come to us.
Let's see. If you can tomorrow or whenever, find out who was supposed to take Lev to Leo.
Yeah, I'm already on it.
Sparta will just say very angrily, I'm so fucking tired of being one step behind. I want these assholes to pay.
Yeah, I think we all do at this point. I'm gonna have a couple conversations. I'm gonna talk with Penelope. See what she knows about who it is she sent, what happened to those people, or if those people are okay. If something happened along the way and he was taken, I'm not sure, but hopefully we'll get the answers we need and we can go from there. It's all about finding information and not giving away the fact that we know that information. Because as soon as they find out that we know something, something happens. And then we're 3 sets behind again.
But who do we trust?
Well, that's for you to decide.
Hearing that, Sparta is going to go sit in one of the cars. But before he does, he's going to walk up to Lindsay, give her a hug, and just say, I'm sorry. And then he's going to walk off and go to get in the Porsche.
Penelope, Lindsay is gonna sort of kind of quickly say goodbye to everyone and kind of wave over Penelope. And Penelope is gonna follow her and get into one of the SUVs with her, and then the other 2 SUVs will leave. And that will leave just everyone and Ashley with you guys. And Colette is gonna get into her car with Ashley and sort of wait for everybody to get ready to leave.
I mean, as soon as Sparta goes in the Porsche, I'm gonna go to my Porsche and sit and wait. I don't know. Where the fuck are we going?
Sparta's holding that locket around his neck, and I just say, I don't know, anywhere but here.
I'm gonna message Colette and I'm gonna be like, are we staying over at the Bat Cave or what?
Um, she'll she'll is Alejandro in the car yet with Ashley and Colette?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just sitting in the back.
Colette's gonna ask like, "Hey, do you still want to swing by the house, or do you want to save it for tomorrow?"
I mean, honestly, it hasn't been checked out. I'd rather have that shit checked out before we even go there because that they could have already fucking done something to it.
Yeah, we can. Why don't we just wait until tomorrow? We can have Lindsay send some people to make sure that nothing shady is there before we walk in there.
Yeah.
And Colette is gonna text back, and she's gonna say, "We're going to my place," and she's just gonna start driving back to her house.
Okay. I'm gonna do a I don't know, intelligence roll or something, just to see if I remember the address by heart. All right, 8, 9, 10, bitch. Yes, I remember.
What are you trying to remember? You didn't have the address. You just
Yeah,
have
I
the
had
corner.
it. I wrote down the do I remember the corner?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna text back. Before texting back, I'm gonna look at Sparta and I'm gonna be like, "Do you want to go on a ride for a little while?"
Yeah. I need to clear my head.
Okay. I'm gonna text Colette back and I'm gonna be like, "Me and Sparta need to clear our heads a little bit. We're gonna go on a ride, on a night ride. We'll be back before sunset."
You don't get a response.
I was like messaging everybody, so Alejandro, you know that too.
Alright, so Alejandro says, well, apparently Sparta and Nick's are going for a little bit of a ride to clear
Well,
their
Colette
minds.
would know. She got the text too. I'm just saying Colette isn't gonna respond back. She doesn't care. She's like, whatever, go do whatever you want to do. I'm not your mother.
Exactly. It was just like
Yeah.
to communicate.
Yeah. Colette's like, okay, cool. Yeah, go. And she's just gonna take off and go home. So Colette will drive back. About midway, Ashley is just gonna be completely normal again. Typical Ashley. Not that she was necessarily distraught about anything that happened to begin with, but she was at least being respectful of everyone that was around. That sort of has gone out the window with her humanity. And she's chit-chatting about something stupid. And Colette is just staring straight ahead, not really even talking, because that's how Ashley is. You don't really have conversations with Ashley. You just listen to her talk. And once you guys arrive, she kind of gets out of the car and makes her way down to her room and goes into her room with Ashley still chatting her ear off. Poor Colette.
Alejandro's just walking behind, just watching, thinking, how the fuck do you survive that jabber now?
Very carefully. Colette's gonna go in her room and she's just gonna chill in there. After, depending on how long they're gone, I'd say probably like 30 minutes or so, you're gonna hear Colette come out of the room, and you'll hear Ashley's kind of like, it's kind of faint conversation, but you can hear them. They're talking loud enough so you can hear them. And Ashley's like, I can just come with you. It's no problem. And Colette, you can hear in the tone of her voice that she has kind of reverted back to that Colette that you saw earlier in the day. And she replies and says, I said, stay here. And then you'll see Colette kind of come out the hallway and go into the garage and get in her car and leave. She's gonna take off, and she'll be gone for a couple of hours. You're in the house alone with Ashley. Oh boy.
Oh, she?
But Ashley is not gonna come out of the bedroom. Ashley will be in the bedroom the entire time. Luckily for you. And in that period of time of Colette being gone, Penelope will return. She'll come down the elevator. All of a sudden, you're like sitting in the living room, you just hear, ah! The elevator just like starts going up out of nowhere, scares the fuck out of you. Penelope comes down. She sort of like nods at you and walks down the hallway down to where Ashley is, or her bedroom, one of them.
Me and Sparta are just driving, blasting music. If like Nyx is not gonna talk too much, Sparta. But if you want to talk, you're more than welcome to talk. You can like send me whatever you talked about, also like in private later. It's not a problem. But she's mainly there to like get it out of herself too, because like, you know, even if it was like a month and a half, like Lev was like one of the people like that she actually interacted the most for a reason or another.
Yeah, Sparta's not his peppy self right now. He's literally just
And
staring out the window.
yeah, so she's just like mourning with Sparta and giving him the space to mourn, I guess. So like she'll just be there. She's just like driving with the windows rolled down, you know, possibly finding like a nice road to go down to, and then obviously like trying to be back as like an hour before sunset, so like we have an hour to like you know, set up like ourselves and like sleep.
And driving recklessly fast.
No, I mean yes. Let me see. I'll roll it. I have an extra dexterity now too, so. Over. 8 and 3 and 7, 7, 6. 4 successes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm not gonna punish you for driving.
Oh yeah, no, I was just like, we're doing a little bit of Fast and Furious, so.
Yeah. It would be like 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. There's probably no
I'm
one
just
on
like,
the streets.
I'm just trying to not crash. So if I'm doing like a donut or something, I'll do the donut and then like we'll sprint out and it's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm checking on, because that's kind of like we're trying to pick ourselves up with some need for speed. Let's see that. Both me and Sparta have like several like
We're all up in our
similarities. Yeah, we're a little feisty and like we like this kind of shit. Adrenaline shock. Yeah, adrenaline to shock the system. There you go. But yeah, we'll be back like an hour before sundown.
Okay.
Sunrise.
Well, I mean, whatever you guys want to roleplay your characters doing, just do it. And we're all at home. Colette is disappeared. I think
I mean, do you
Alejandro's
want
just
to
chilling.
roleplay or do you want to roleplay like later? It's up to you, Steve.
I feel like he would be quiet at the moment, but yeah, definitely later. It would be definitely some messages sent.
Yeah, I'll just roleplay it later and send it to you in case. Jenna. I
Okay.
guess.
All right. So you guys get back to the house, and what do? Just go to sleep?
Sparta will literally curl up into a little ball on the couch and cry softly.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back, check in on everybody. I suppose Penelope is already back. Alejandro is there. Where are you, Alejandro?
Alejandro's in the living room staring at the bar.
She'll sit by you and be like, is everybody here? Is Penelope back?
Penelope and Ashley are in their bedrooms. That's what
Well,
I
I
was
didn't
saying.
know
Like,
because I
we
was out.
finished the role play with the house, and I was transitioning to you guys so you could do your role play. Like, everyone at the house is just at the house ready for sleep. Colette went out, and then she'll return before sunrise and go into her room. And I'm assuming Alejandro's just
Yeah,
chilling
pretty
in the
much.
living room. He doesn't have anywhere else to go unless he leaves. I guess you could go upstairs if you really wanted to go somewhere. There's a whole fucking house up. There's 3 stories above you. Technically. There's a whole house to explore.
Yeah, pretty much everyone's here. Colette went for a drive. I guess I don't know where she went.
Well, she would have returned before them. If they came home like an hour before sunset, she would already be back in her bedroom. She was just gone for like a couple hours. Which would roughly be probably how long they were gone. A couple hours.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah, everyone is pretty much just gone to bed. Are you okay?
I'm alive. I'm good. I'm fine. Are you okay?
I'm actually more worried about you than me right now.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you were in a position that a lot of officers experience.
What do you mean?
You took a gamble. There was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm more worried about you than me right now. Because right now, what you're thinking is you're more than likely putting the blame on yourself. And you're more than likely asking yourself, why if I didn't do that?
In my night ride with Sparta, we didn't talk much, but one thing I know is, unfortunately, I will never know. What if I waited and the time-ticking bomb activated itself anyway? I would have had the same problem, waiting too long. So, one lesson I had to learn, I guess, in this month and a half is that if you're thinking about that too much, you just get stuck. I know that I did it to help, and I might have fucked it up, might have set the bomb off, but it also might have not been me. And I'm not gonna blame myself. It's not fair.
It's not
And
fair,
I
no.
and I
It's
hope
not.
that Sparta won't do that either.
I don't
And
think he
that's
will. I don't think he will. But from experience, he might. He might not come at you hard, but he might. Because this is a loss to his family. I've lost officers the same way. People in the bomb squad. Um, and I've seen controllers like bomb squad officials that have been trying to direct, putting the blame on themselves. I've seen families going after them. Your heart was in the right place. It wasn't. It was a gamble, but I know Sparta cares about you. But don't be surprised if he has a malreaction and he calls you out on this.
no, that's why I took him up for a ride.
Because there are, possibilities that could happen.
We're probably standing where you're sleeping,
That's
Sparta.
what
So
I
you're
we're
definitely hearing this
we're
conversation.
literally in the same room. I'm just on the couch.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, well, and she will look at Sparta laying down on the couch, curled up. I hope he knows, and I think he does, that where I was and what were my intentions. And I hope that even if we find out that I triggered that he will be able to forgive me, and that I will eventually be able to forgive myself. And that is okay. We
Take you
fuck up.
guys' time.
And this is a mega fucked situation, so
I'm gonna tell you what I told Colette. At this point, I don't trust anyone apart from you four, you three. I don't trust Ashley. I don't trust Penelope. I don't trust the prince. I don't trust anyone. The only people that I depend on right now is you three. Because we're literally working together. It's easier to build trust.
yeah, I could vouch for all of us, no matter the differences in our group dynamic.
I mean, if this doesn't end up with all of us fucking dead, I'm probably gonna go home and stop being a mercenary already. I'm done with that lifestyle.
Sounds exhausting. To be a mercenary, I mean.
I got a lot of favors, but I have no contacts with anyone.
Sounds exhausting. And lonely.
So I'm probably gonna end up. Going home and then probably traveling. This is one place I've heard of. I'll still be. I'll still be contactable if that's needed.
Good night, Alejandro. Good night, Sparta.
There's guys.
Sparta doesn't say anything until Nick starts to walk towards the room, and then he'll just say, without even looking up, "You're not to blame. I wasn't strong enough. I never should have left him alone last night. This is my fault."
Hmm.
Not your fault.
Doesn't say anything else.
Alejandro just gotta look at Sparta and just say, it's not your fault.
Nyx will hear it and she'll like have a little like tear and go into her room. She's not gonna add anything.
And Sparta doesn't say anything else either. He's still curled up in a ball on the couch.
At that point, Alejandro just lays down and gets ready for sleep.
Alrighty. I like how that is what got me, but not everything that happened before. Oh. Okay. Everybody retreats for the night.
Yep.
Finds their way to the beds or couches or whatever they sleep on. And you drift away into your slumber after a very long day. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Jesus Christ!